Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Sandrina Rizkia Ramadhani, and in this video, I would like to explain the self-review about the thesis proposal, the background of the thesis proposal. And my title of research proposal is the correlation between cognitive load and vocabulary retention in EFL learners, a neuroscience approach. Next. So, for the self-review, there are seven statements, which are the first is the title includes the topic or variable to study and its design. The second is the topic is clearly introduced with related sources. The third is the importance of the topic is clearly stated and well supported. The fourth is the related studies are sufficient on and are presented well. The fifth is the gaps of previous research are presented well. The sixth is the novelty of the research is clearly stated. And the last is the significance of the research is mentioned well. Okay, let's move to the first statement is the title. The title includes the topic or variable to study and its design. So I repeat again, my title of the study is the correlation between cognitive load and vocabulary retention in EFL learners, a neuroscience approach. So in this title, it has the variable which is cognitive load and vocabulary retention. And in this study, it will be discussed the relationship between cognitive load and vocabulary retention in EFL learners. So cognitive load is the mental load that affect the brain's ability to absorb and remember information. If it's too high, learners have difficulty retaining vocabulary in long-term memory. And in this study, I use quantitative method with a correlational design to analyze the relationship between cognitive load and vocabulary retention. Next, the second statement is the topic is clearly introduced with related sources. So this study introduced the importance of the first is vocabulary acquisition in EFL learning, and the previous research is by Tahir et al. 2021, also by Nordland and Norberg 2020. And the second is cognitive load theory or CLT. It explains how excessive cognitive load affects vocabulary retention by Sepp et al. 2019. And the third is neuroscience insight to understand how cognitive processes influence vocabulary learning and overall language acquisition by Bedley at 1992 and the Esposito and Posel 2019. And the third statement is the importance of the topic is clearly stated and well supported. So in the study, the importance of the study is emphasized through the relationship between cognitive load and vocabulary retention or vocabulary recallability with the support of theory and previous research. I take this part of the background of the study. However, deep side, I take this part of the background of the study to highlight the importance of the study. However, deep side significance, many of our learners often struggle with memorizing and recalling new words due to cognitive demands. And it's from Roshada, ISN Apoko 2023. One of the critical factors contributing to this difficulty is cognitive load, which affect the brain's ability to process and retain information. According to cognitive load theory or CLT, the human brain has a limited capacity for process information, and when the cognitive load becomes excessive, it can hinder vocabulary retention. Sepp et al. 2019. So my background of the study, it's have it's it's explain the importance of the topic with previous research. And the next statement is the related studies are sufficient and are presented well. So the studies refers to cognitive load theory or CLT, working memory function, and studies that discuss the relationship between cognitive load and language learning. And in this part, in this background of the study, I use a theory by Sweller. He was developed cognitive load theory. You can see that there are many uh, previous studies that support this theory. Next is the gaps of previous research are presented well. So most previous research has focused on reading comprehension and listening skill, while the effect of cognitive load on vocabulary retention has fairly been studied. You can see of the part of the background. You can see the part of the background of the study is although CLT has been extensively applied to areas such as reading comprehension and listening, there is limited research, especially examining its impact on vocabulary retention in language learning. It's from by 2018 and Aisha in 2017. Next is the novelty of the research is clearly stated. So this study will be combines a neuroscience approach to analyze how cognitive load influence vocabulary storage and recall in EFL learners. So this study aims to fill that gap by examining how different levels of cognitive load during vocabulary learning influence retention outcomes among English language learning. Given that vocabulary knowledge is high complex construct with versus any single explanation. Schmidt, 2019. Understanding how cognitive factors like load contribution to retention is crucial for developing effective teaching strategies. And the significance of the research is mentioned well. So the findings are expected to provide new insight for educators in developing more effective teaching strategies to managing cognitive load, improving students' vocabulary retentions. So this study will not only contribute to the existing body of knowledge in language learning and neuroscience, but also offer practical implication for classroom teaching method. So this study examines the relationship between cognitive load and vocabulary retention in EFL learners using a neuroscience approach. While CLT or cognitive load theory has been widely studied in reading and listening, its impact on vocabulary retention remains underexplored. So by understanding how cognitive load affects memory processing, this research aims to bridge the gap and provide insight for better language learning strategies. And the findings will help educators develop more effective teaching methods to enhance vocabulary retention in EFL classroom. So in the study, I use a neuroscience approach to use a theory, yes, to understand how cognitive load affect the vocabulary retentions. So I think that's all from me. That's all. Thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.